This year marks 75 since the end of World War II, where more than 16 million Americans served in that war. Now a new book offers fresh insight into what life was like on the front lines through a series of letters written by a young soldier. The detailed notes in Dear Selma allow readers to experience the day-to-day struggles and triumphs of American troops in Europe. And as Chip Reid shows us, the letters had a lasting impact on the lives they touched.
That's right there, yeah.
Bernard Brown, now 96 years old, was just 19 when he was drafted into the Army during World War II. Longing for connection back home, he started writing to a childhood friend named Selma. Just 4 months after D-Day, Brown's unit boarded a ship to Europe. His frequent letters to Selma paint a vivid picture of the sacrifice of American forces on the front lines.
After spending 4 nights and 3 days in the mud, sleeping, eating, and trying to fight.
He describes living in a foxhole in the thick of battle in France, and the haunting image of the gaunt Jewish prisoners his unit helped liberate from the Dachau concentration camp. But amid the chaos of war, the letters gradually became a declaration of love.
I really liked this person. Just made me feel good every time I read her letters. And I thought, you know, I've got to know her better. I just have to know her better.
You got pretty sappy there at some points.
Yes, yeah, I was eager. If you only knew how much I want to come back so that you and I can start living a life together.
And after the Germans surrendered in 1945, Brown did just that, marrying Selma 3 months after he returned home. Eventually, they had 3 children and later 5 grandchildren. They were married for 72 years before Selma passed away in 2017. As his family prepared to move him into a Portland retirement facility, his daughter, Shelley, came across a dusty old box.
It was probably around 600 pages of handwritten letters. We would call Dad up and say, tell us about this. What did that mean? And then the kind of memories that were coming out of his mind were incredible.
Although Brown earned a Bronze Star and a Purple Heart, he rarely shared stories of his time overseas.
When you read these letters that you had written so many years before, did they bring tears to your eyes?
Yeah, they did. They brought a lot of memories to me.
How important is it for somebody who's on the front lines to have somebody at home to write to on a regular basis?
I don't care how many letters you got, it wasn't enough. When I'd read her letters, I just felt strong all over again.
Shelley convinced Bernard to publish the letters in a book dedicated to those who didn't make it back home.
So you learned a lot, not only about your mother's and father's relationship and how it began, but a lot about your father.
Yes.
In some way, were these kind of love letters to you, too?
Yes, because we're here, and if he hadn't made it through, we wouldn't be here.
A treasure trove of long-forgotten letters telling a family's love story for generations to come. For CBS This Morning, Chip Reid, Washington.
What a beautiful family picture. Didn't you love everything about Mr. Brown, especially how he grabbed his daughter's hand when he was talking? Oh,
I love these stories of when somebody finds a shoebox full of, in this case, 600 pages, that tells this whole story that you didn't even know about a family member, really.
And you always hear the stories about the soldiers back then who didn't talk about their experience.
That's right.
They could write it down, but they couldn't talk about it. Stuff that their own family didn't know.
And so interesting that it triggered all those memories and from him as well.
Such a treasure. Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
So Dear Selma, a World War II love letter romance is on sale now. And important to know, all proceeds from the book will be donated to Ronald McDonald House. Bernard says that his daughter Shelley was actually hospitalized for months as a young child. And with the money from this book, he hopes to help other families in that very same position.